Boom! What's up, everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Have you felt uninspired? Maybe you lived in the same town your entire life and just feel stuck? Well, then it might be time to join 56% of Americans who plan on moving this year. Now, since 2020 made many jobs remote, a lot of those people are actually moving out of metropolises to smaller, less crowded places. But not everyone. In fact, over 82% of Americans still live in cities, and a lot of the cities on this list are growing fast. So, even with the obvious problems to big city life, such as traffic, homelessness, crime, and more expensive cost of living, many people still want to push their comfort zones, chase their dreams, and move to a big city. And considering the wide array of culture, diversity, amenities, and incredible opportunities the most big cities offer, I can't blame them. If you're new around here, the criteria that I use to determine the city's true size is big cities have metro populations over 3 million residents, medium sized cities have metro populations between 1.5 and 3 million, and then small cities have metro populations between 500,000 and 1.5 million. And I ranked each metropolis according to their economy, safety, cost of living, schools, amenities, and overall quality of life. I already made the first part of this list, so check it out if you haven't already. But here is the top 10 best big cities to live in for 2021, part 2. Number 5, Tampa, Florida. If you're looking for somewhere a tad bit warmer, not to mention much safer, with a crime rate 18% below the national average, why not add yourself to nearly 50,000 new residents who move to Tampa Bay area each year? Well, I'll tell you why not. Jobs. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of jobs here with an unemployment rate of just 4.6% and a growing economy as tons of young professionals and entrepreneurs are moving here. But just like with the most of Florida, wages are still much lower than they would be for the same job in other city. So unless you're a retiree, the median household income of just $57,900 could be an issue. I mean, it already is for the 18.6% of residents who live below the poverty line, despite there being no state income tax and a median home cost of just 286 grand. But hey, at least there's a great weather, beautiful beaches, and so many fun things to do in both Tampa and nearby St. Petersburg, with tons of art, museums, live music, professional sports, hip restaurants and bars, and even multiple theme parks. Number 4, Denver, Colorado. If you thought Tampa was a hotspot for millennials, wait until you get a load of Denver, where two-thirds of residents are under the age of 44. And since the population continues to grow by 1.4% each year, despite having already grown by 24% over the past decade, if you're even thinking about it, I'd move here ASAP because the median home cost of 505 grand isn't getting any cheaper. But if you do give in on the allure of panoramic mountain views, endless outdoor recreation, hip city amenities, and being able to catch a show of Red Rock Amphitheater, be warned that you'd probably never want to leave. And why would anyone? Not only is Denver fun and surrounded by beautiful nature, it's also got one of the best economies with a median household income at a whopping $85,700, which still increases by nearly 6% each year. Tons of new companies also want to relocate here due to Denver's highly educated workforce and business friendly environment. So the already low poverty rate of just 12.9% will likely only go lower. Number 3, San Diego, California. From famously casual city to another, except instead of 14,000 footers, you're at sea level with beautiful beaches and some of the best waves on the mainland. But besides the palm trees, warm temperatures, and nearly 270 sunny days a year, San Diego doesn't really feel like it is in California. While the Golden State has a plenty of problems, San Diego doesn't really. Sure, there is homelessness and traffic, but neither anywhere near as bad as in LA or San Francisco. It's much cleaner too. And unlike the other Californian cities, San Diego is incredibly safe. There's also so much to do with tons of good restaurants, great nightlife in the Gaslamp Quarter, 17 museums throughout the Balboa Park, and pretty much any type of outdoor recreation you could imagine. But that doesn't mean San Diego is perfect. The unemployment rate has skyrocketed to 8.5%, and the cost of living, while still cheaper than other Californian cities, is still ridiculously high with a median home value of 755 grand. Sure, there are also good jobs with a median household income around $84,000. But your options are also much more limited than they would be in the Bay or LA. Number 2. Boston, Massachusetts. You may or may not be surprised, but even I was surprised how amazing of a place to live in it truly is. Although often overlooked for other flashier or faster growing metropolises, Beantown is probably the most historic city in this country, with so much of the nation's founding up to the revolution taking place here. And the city's done a great job of mixing the old with the new, as while there are tons of historical buildings, markers, and sites, Boston's also one of the few places in the US that really feels like a real cosmopolitan city. With lots of amenities, great walkability and public transportation, a beautiful modern skyline, gorgeous surrounding nature and parks, so much culture, and of course, jobs. So many innovative companies are based here due to the suburbs having the best schools in the nation and there being some of the best universities right across the river in Cambridge. Biotech, engineering, education, finance, medicine, and robotech are just a few of the many cutting edge job opportunities, leading to a median household income of $95,000. All things considered, the high cost of living with a median home price of 666 grand is worth it for most, especially since Boston's one of the safest major cities. But if you hate the cold or shoveling, just know that the temperatures regularly drop to the single digits Fahrenheit, and there is over 4 feet of annual snow. Now, before we'll get to number 1, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. But without the further ado, number 1, Seattle, Washington. You might be surprised that Seattle took home the number 1 spot this year. But aside from the lack of sunshine, inexpensive cost of living, with a median home value of 816 grand, there just aren't many negatives about the place. Oh yeah? Well, it's swarming with homelessness and Antifa, and it's just a liberal hellhole. Well, maybe that's because I'm used to cities like LA or San Francisco, which actually are dirty and have a huge homeless population. But everything people say about Seattle is blown out of proportion. Well, besides the traffic. That really is bad. The economy is amazing, however, with a median household income of nearly $103,000. Add no state income tax on top of that, and the high home prices are actually pretty affordable for most, with just 11% of the population living in poverty. And with legit big city amenities, tons of fun neighborhoods, and some of the most beautiful and unique surrounding nature, Seattle is the best big city to live in for 2021. Alright, so this was the second and final part of this list. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon, guys. Peace out and goodbye.